is a scary situation.
WSIC News Talk Now.
I need some real talk. Oh, I need some real talk. Give me some of that real talk.
Today's Real Talk, Justin Ckezepis, North Carolina real estate attorney, broker, investor, sitting alongside Mackenzie Amirfar.
Yes.
How are you to this afternoon? Is it afternoon already, or is it morning again yet?
I don't even know.
You double took there. You thought it was morning for a second there.
It's a holiday week. I don't know what time it is.
It
what
is a
day
holiday
it is,
week.
Anything.
Are you a turkey or a ham person?
Turkey, but honestly, neither. I'd rather have like a steak or something. You know, I'm not like a big Thanksgiving food person altogether.
Okay, she just threw a curveball at me, and I was not ready for that. To throw a steak out there like it's
I
no
know.
big deal.
I
Not
know.
bad. All right, Mackenzie, how long have you been a real estate broker?
I have been a real estate broker for almost 4 years now. Yeah, a little over 3.5.
Do you regret it?
All the time. No, I don't. I actually really enjoy it. I didn't know how I would like it going into it. It was kind of like an experiment for me. I was like, I'll see if I do, and I ended up loving it. So
Mackenzie is with the Deering team at Serhant, North Carolina. You've been a broker for 4 years. Do you like buyers or sellers more?
Oh, depends who it is.
Fair enough. Generally speaking, the process, though, when you think about a seller, right, you do a heavy work in the beginning, the listing appointment, or versus the buyer where, you know, it's a lot of hauling people around and showing houses and then holding hands all the way through. Which do you like more?
Oh my God, that's such a hard question because I really do. It really depends on the situation and also on the place we're at in the market too, right? You know, when I started, it was the big boom of low interest rates.
Was it 2019, 2020?
2020.
2020.
Yeah, so beginning mid 2020 was when I started, and so it was a rat race essentially, and some of my buyers were having to put in 10 offers before we were getting a house. You know, there was 30 offers on every house. In that market, I was like, all I want is a listing. All I want is a listing. Then I finally got a listing, and that changed so quick, and I was like, oh, whoa, where's the multiple offers? And so it depends. I think generally speaking, I do really like working with buyers just because you get, you're doing something so personal. A lot first-time home buyers are some of the hardest people to work with, but so rewarding because it's like their first big investment. They're so appreciative. They're so excited. They're so thankful. That's the most rewarding part of the job, I would say, is like working with first-time home buyers.
Do you recall the very first client you worked with once you were licensed?
Yes.
Can you walk me through that transaction? Even if it was bad, you don't have to say names, obviously, but walk me through it.
Oh my gosh. My first transaction ever was a lead that I was with Josh. So I went with the Deering since the beginning. Josh was training me on like calling our leads and everything. And he said, oh, this one just came through. Let's call it. So we called this lead and it was honestly super, super quick. I want to go see this house. All right, let's go. We went.
Was Josh just like, so Josh Deering of the Deering team of Serhant, was he just like, all right, I'm going to call for you real quick. Let's go. Hey, it's Josh. You buying the house or not? Is that how it went down?
It's basically. And the guy's, anyways, yes, that's basically what happened. Josh called, did everything. I kind of listened and then set me up to go show this guy a house. He bought one actually very quickly. It was actually like really easy. I had my first 2 under contracts within 2 days.
What was the price point of that first house? Do you recall?
$320, I think.
Okay.
Yeah.
So a decent home still in that market. This was before prices completely skyrocketed.
Yeah. Oh my gosh, they have a lake view.
Oh wow.
Thinking about that house now, I'm like, oh, what a score.
Yeah.
Yeah. So it was around 320, 330, if I recall correctly. And it was in Mooresville. They had a lake view of the house. Oh my gosh.
Wow.
Like really killed it there. But yeah, it was fairly smooth, very nice guy that I was helping, very easy client for me. We had some lending bumps that was interesting. It was just very unique circumstances. I'd never gone through like that process as the realtor. And so getting calls from the lender that were just so bizarre to me. And I was like, I have no idea what to do.
Right.
Like, that was the biggest thing, the biggest learning thing. And honestly, that's every transaction transaction because every lender does things so differently, which is kind of why we try to stick to our preferred lenders and our preferred partners, because we know how they work, they know how we work, we kind of work as a team together. When you work with new lenders, and we do, because depending on the client, they need different products, it creates a whole new set of workload, of problems, of things like that. And every loan is completely different. I've learned that every day. Every year I say I need a crash course on which lenders do what, because they all do so different things, and I don't understand, because I'm like, isn't there just national laws and guidelines? How do you guys all do like very different things? But
so was it surprising to you when you got into it how many different aspects there are to a real estate transaction, or were you prepared mentally for that?
I was surprised. So I had done the process of buying and selling a home already. So I kind of knew what I was getting into, but also I didn't know the back end. You know, that was how I met Josh and Charlene. They were my realtor when I bought a house. They made it seem like so seamless. I didn't know anything that was going on, really. I kind of did. But then once I really got into it, I was like, wow, there's a lot of back work that realtors do put in. They do. And so I always try to do the same thing for my clients, make it like they don't even know what's going on. Like, if they know, obviously they have to know to an extent, but I don't want them to know about all the problems. I want them to think like this was the easiest thing ever. And if they did it, like, I think I've done my job very nicely.
Do you cringe when you see a first-time home buyer in this particular market, just knowing the current, fiscal landscape, or do you like unique circumstances and working through almost like I don't want to call it a challenge, but you know what I mean?
Yeah, I don't mind working through unique circumstances. I do like it because I like to, find something different, and then also like learn from that experience. There's something to learn from every transaction. Everyone, like I said, they're all completely different. Going and sharing that with my team. Hey, like, this is what I learned this time. Like, I just had this unique circumstance. If you guys run into this, this is what happened. This is what we went through. This is what we did. And so I do like that. Now, depending on the buyer, how receptive they are to your thoughts, how much they trust you, things like that. And I can treat everybody, I don't treat them all the same. I treat them to, I try to do their match their personality. You know what I mean? Not everyone.
You provide quality service to everybody, but you allow each individual to be unique.
Yes, of course. And so it depends on how they react to things and how receptive they are or not, because that's when transactions really get hard, is when your client just won't listen to you, or they won't take your advice, or that they're learning as they go, but then they're not. It's like we're running into things they should be learning from, and they're just forgetting about it as soon as it happens. And I'm like, don't you remember this happening? This is why we're not going to do it this way. And those are the most challenging ones I'm like, I just want to get through this, honestly.
All right, we started the conversation with turkey versus ham.
Yeah.
You said steak. So where are you having a steak dinner at on Thanksgiving?
I'm not.
Okay, so you're going to have turkey or ham.
Yeah, I'm having both. Actually, I'm hosting my boyfriend's family.
You're hosting with the boyfriend's family?
Yes, second year. And
are you nervous?
Oh, I ordered all the food.
Good call.
Last year I cooked the turkey, and it was the biggest mistake of my life. I never again. It ended up good, but it took so long. This year I literally ordered every single item, but they like the traditional Thanksgiving. If I was with my family, like, we'll do different things. They like the very traditional Thanksgiving, so it's fine.
Okay. We're talking with Mackenzie Amirfar of the Deering team of Serhant. You're listening to today's Real Talk, 844-STUDIO-4. That's the phone number if you want to call and get involved, 844-788-3464. We're going to talk about some of these holiday deals going on in real estate. Yeah, believe it or not, there's deals happening.
Keep it right here. Today's Real Talk with Justin Ckezepis will return after this short break on the new 105.9 100.7 WSIC.
Here's your WSIC community calendar. Happy Thanksgiving. From all of us at WSIC, we hope everyone is able to spend some time with those that they love. Join the Cornelius Parks and Rec Department this Saturday for the 12th annual Light Up Cornelius, presented by Novant Health from 4 to 7 p.m. in downtown Cornelius. Festivities will include holiday songs, train rides, a sledding hill, food and craft vendors, and a visit from Santa. See you Saturday! Want to see more than 5 million Christmas lights at one time? Speedway Christmas is back. Happening daily, the amazing Speedway Christmas at Charlotte Motor Speedway is happening now through January 7th. The show is open 6 to 10 p.m., rain or shine. The Infield Christmas Village is open Thursday through Sunday nights. Speedway Christmas at Charlotte Motor Speedway, now through January 7th. For tickets, visit charlottemotorspeedway.com. Community singers of Lake Norman are performing again Christmas style. December 3rd in Mooresville, December 5th in Huntersville, and December 11th in Cornelius, each evening at a different church. 3 shows, 3 nights. Community Singers of Lake Norman. For more info, visit lakenormansings.com. The Community Singers of Lake Norman. lakenormansings.com. The Docksiders, performing at Kane Center for the Arts on Saturday, December 9th, are almost sold out. The Docksiders will take you back to the year 1981. Their unique and electric tribute act of yacht rock features songs from Hall & Oates, Christopher Cross, Kenny Loggins, and more. The Docksiders, Saturday, December 9th at Kane Center for the Arts. To purchase your tickets, visit kanearts.org. Have an event you'd like to tell people about? Yard sales, estate sales, and everything in between? Visit WSICnews.com and click on events to submit your event today.
And now for a look at your weather forecast from the WSIC Weather Center. Partly sunny skies through the rest of your afternoon today. Will only be up at a high temperature near 57 degrees. Rain is likely through the evening and into Tuesday morning. 60% chance of rain through the overnight hours. Otherwise mostly cloudy with a low around 44. This has been your weather forecast from the WSIC Weather Center.
Your home for non-stop Christmas music. Starting at 12 a.m. Thanksgiving Day.
Call now to speak with Justin at 844-STUDIO-4. It's today's Real Talk on the new 105.9, 100.7 WSIC.
Today's Real Talk, 3:18 on this Monday afternoon. This is the show where we talk about all things North Carolina real estate, business, and life. I'm sitting down with Mackenzie Amirfar of the Deering team of Serhant, North Carolina. Still a mouthful. You know, the whole introduction of teams to the layers of the brokerage firm. Have you found a really good way, like you like to say it to clients?
No.
Hey, I'm Mackenzie with the Deering team of Serhant.
I don't say all that. I choose one or the other.
Just one or the other.
Yeah, depending on who I'm talking to. Some people I say, oh, I'm with Serhant. Some people I say I'm the Deering team. Honestly, Lake Norman people, I try to say the Deering team because Deering team is more known in Lake Norman. In Charlotte, not that they're not as known, but I typically say Serhant there. Just really depends, but I don't ever say all of it. It's too much.
Before Josh and Charlene told you that they were going to be moving the team to Serhant, did you know who Ryan Serhant was?
Yeah.
Did you watch $1 Million Listing New York?
No, I've still never watched the show.
You've never watched it? Even now? Oh, it's hilarious.
I love reality TV. Love reality TV. I will not watch the real estate shows. I don't know why. I won't watch Selling Sunset. All of my friends watch those.
You can't watch that one. Yeah,
I can't do it because I'm like.
Although you're a Cali girl, you would think Selling Sunset would be like.
Oh my gosh!
Your
I
thing,
watched one episode and I was like, "This is a joke, right?"
You wanted to
like,
vomit, right?
Yeah. I was like, "What are they wearing?" People. It's funny. People ask me like, "Oh, is that what people dress like in California?" I was like, "No,
no. There's actually normal people there.
Yeah, like she's wearing like a plastic board, literally. I was like, "No. This is like not Project Runway. What are we doing?" But I don't know. I like don't want it to ruin it for me. I don't watch it.
Most people don't want things ruined this time of the year in the holiday season. We think about the time we're going to spend with our families, our boyfriends' families, our girlfriends' families, our married families, everybody in between that we're probably going to see throughout the next few weeks. But there's some deals that are actually to be had, and Black Friday's coming around. Are there Black Friday specials taking place in real estate?
Yes, it's insane. The deals that have come across my table the last 2 weeks with builders are absolutely insane. I've been seeing they're buying a fixed rate of 5.875. Rates right now are 7.7, 7.5 if you're lucky.
Yeah.
And they're paying for a fixed rate of 5.875 right out the gate, then giving you thousands in closing costs. Some of them are even offering a 2-1 buy down on top of your 5.875 8 fixed rate. It's really crazy, but the catch is they want you to close before the end of the year. Yeah, builders want to offload as much as they can before the end of the year for like their numbers, their taxes, whatever exactly they do it for. So while I think that there'll still be these deals the beginning of the year, they're not going to be as good. It's not going to be all those things together. It's going to more be you pick one. Do you want the fixed rate or do you want the closing costs? That kind of thing.
I find it interesting that they would go to basically a rate of 5.8, 5.9, and then in addition with the 2-1 buy down, that tells you of where they expect, probably based on whatever way access they have on resources, to where they think the numbers are going to land when all this settles. Let's say inflation's back to normal, whatever the heck that means. Interest rates come back to wherever they're going to be. Do you think like 6 is the number, or what's your take on the future of interest rates?
Gosh, I think it's going to be somewhere around 6. I hope we can get to like 5.5. I don't even know if we're going to be able to get to 5.5. That's what I think would be most ideal. But I don't even know if we'll ever get into the 4s, like at least in the foreseen future, maybe way down the line. But 5.5, I think we'd be lucky to get now. I think we'll fall somewhere around 6, and 6 seems high still. But right now, 6 is so low.
It's pretty amazing because so I got into real estate in 2011, 2012, and that was when we were coming on the rebound after the great financial crisis of 2008, and interest rates were at that pretty much almost an all-time low. The first house my wife and I bought, we did an FHA loan for 3.25%.
Wow.
It was a townhouse in Cornelius. But what blows me away more thinking about than the rate is the fact that the sales price was only $118,000. So to think that that is ever going to be possible again geographically. So these builders where you're seeing these incentives, are they in particular neighborhoods? Like, are we talking bottom of the barrel? Or are we talking about it's all over and there's like a lot of pickings to choose from?
All over. Because a lot of builders are doing, depending on the builder, but let's say one builder A, they have communities all around Charlotte, in Lake Norman. They have them everywhere, kind of. They have a community almost in every little town around, and they're pretty much doing the same deal across all their communities. Sometimes they'll pick and choose, but right now what I'm seeing is if a builder's doing it, they're doing it at all of them. No matter, this is a big thing too, some of them are at the beginning building stages of the community, like they just released the first phase. Some are at the very end, and they're all doing it straight across the board.
Does that make you nervous for new construction, particularly the neighborhoods where they're just now starting?
So I actually had this question from somebody the other day. They were saying, "Oh, we were thinking about buying in a neighborhood, but then they just started construction. We were thinking, what if something happens? What's going to happen to all these houses being built? Are they going to be left?" They were thinking kind of 2008. Yeah. And I was like, honestly, I don't think that will happen because with every phase, the prices go up and these houses are still selling. That's what's crazy. And with all these incentives and stuff, like, you got to think about what the builders are. They're buying all this in bulk. Like they're still making money. They're not losing money. They're not going to keep building houses if they're losing money. And so and that's the other thing. Our inventory can't keep up. They can't build them fast enough for all of the people that live here already and all the people moving here. I have so many friends that all they want to do is get out of an apartment, and they can't necessarily right now. They're like, I don't want to leave Charlotte yet, even though they can afford Belmont, they can afford Huntersville. Honestly, Huntersville, not even anymore, maybe. But Stanley, that's kind of closest to Huntersville. They can afford those places, but they're like, I'm just not quite ready to leave. And I'm like, I get it. I totally understand. But at the same time, I'm like, you're never going to be able to afford in here if you never take that first step in investing in something and anything. And I can always tell people, it's totally your decision. I'm not going to pressure you either way. It's whatever you're ready for and prepared for. But like invest in yourself at some point, because it's such a cliche saying, but yeah, like rent is 100% interest. You have a credit card that's 20% interest, 7.5 isn't that bad as long as you can afford it. If you can afford your mortgage payment.
That was an interesting way to put it. 100% interest is what you're paying whenever you pay rent. I find that's an interesting way to put it. You're utilizing one of your tools that you have to probably often as a broker, and that's like as a counselor. do you enjoy that aspect of it, or like does it get frustrating after a while?
I enjoy explaining things and like I don't like to say educating people. I'm not trying to be like I'm no more.
No, you're
than
trying to tell them what to
you.
do. No, go ahead. Tell them what to do, Mackenzie.
I just like to show them, like, hey, like it's not. Think about it this way. That's what I tell people. Think about it like in this way instead of that. I actually had somebody who she wants to be a real estate agent. She came to me to ask me about it. And she started to tell me like all the reasons that she's not buying right now. And I was like, girl, you better change your tune real quick or you're never going to sell a house. Like,
Convince everyone not to buy.
Yeah, I was like, what are you saying? But that's what it's just like switching the way of thinking. It's, hey, I get this, but look at this. I understand that rates are higher than they've been in a really long time, but like, look at where they're going to go down and look at what happened last time they went down. Do you want to be in that again? Like, that was terrible. That was the worst thing for buyers. So get in while you can and while you have all these deals, because new construction, like, who doesn't want a brand new house? You know exactly like what you're walking into. You're the first owner. There's no one else that's messed stuff up, or like you don't know what kind of renovations they did, things like that. Get into these homes while you can get a 5.8% fixed rate on the builder, not on you, and get all your closing costs paid for, and all you have to do is put 3 to 5% down. Like, that's such a win. And then, yeah, maybe your mortgage payment's going to be a little bit more than you wanted initially, but you can refinance.
Consistently over history, there's the concept where, some type of event, whether tragic or defining or symbiotic, symbolic, pretty big event occurs, right? And then over time, we forget about it. Mm-hmm. And so that's almost what happened between 2008 and 2020. Mm-hmm. I think we kind of forgot about what happened in 2008 and how devastating that was. Because from 2012 to 2020, short of up only, it's pretty much what it was for the most part. Now, there were deals to be had. Don't get me wrong. People make some dumb decisions. Mm-hmm. But that interest rate of being as low as it was, that means something really, really bad happened prior to. Because if the government is willing to basically give money away, mm-hmm. then it becomes we have to remember how bad things were. 2020 in particular, everybody was so worried. Nobody was going out spending. Rates are just astronomically low of all time. And then now we see this giant pendulum. I just don't see it happening quickly, bringing the pendulum back down. So that's why 5.8 sounds like a good deal.
It is. It's not going to go back down to 2 or 3. I don't see that honestly ever happening again, because I don't think the government can afford to do that again. They did that because COVID, everyone was scared. Like you said, no one was spending money. No one wanted to do anything. They're like, we have to keep things moving, so we'll give people free money. Is basically what they did. And I do not see it going back down that quick. I think that's why people are so because they went back up so quick. It wasn't like a gradual thing. It was like every week they're increasing. We were like,
it was a Band-Aid. They ripped it off.
Oh, yeah. It was so bad. But I remember when that happened, I had somebody who was the very beginning of them going up, and they're like, oh my gosh, my rate's 4.5%. This is so high. And I'm like, oh, I called them today. I said, hey, how you doing? But yeah, so it's not going to go back down like that. It's not going to. People need to accept that and stop waiting for it, because it's not happening.
Well, we'll talk about on the other side of the break kind of that concept of counseling people through the process, because like you said, there's a lot of people nervous right now. There's a lot of people nervous about the economy overall. We're coming up on holiday time, and retailers and spending. Joshua Adobe, certified financial planner in the local area, does his show Dollars and Cents every Thursday. He was talking about Walmart didn't have very favorable numbers for what they were thinking for the holiday season. So there's certain things from numbers. We'll talk a little bit about that. We're going to pull up some market reports as well, which we've got on WSICnews.com. You can just click real estate, all the most up-to-date, accurate data directly from the Canopy, the local realtor association. It's not Zillow numbers. It's not Realtor.com fake numbers. No, this is direct data from the local marketplace. We're sitting down with Mackenzie Amirfar of the Deering team of Lake Norman. Coming back.
There's more of today's Real Talk with Justin Ckezepis on the way from the new 105.9 100.7 WSIC.
Amazon's got the best deals on Black Friday. The best deals are on Cyber Monday. Friday comes first when it comes to saving. Monday's worth the wait to what you've been craving. Deals so good it'll feel like stealing. Real cool message, could you make it less appealing? What's with the beef? You can get that too. Why don't you call us? Whichever day you're shopping on, you'll save a bunch at Amazon on Black Friday.
Jim Gaffigan here with some more straight talk. Let's take a moment to appreciate our sweet children, loving grandparents, and eternal soulmates. Now let's use them to save money on wireless. Because with the Straight Talk Silver Plan, you get 4 lines for just $25 a month with unlimited data and no contracts. So add those human pawns, loved ones, and save money. Thanks, kids. They're finally worth it. Straight Talk Wireless, available at Walmart.
Get 4 lines on Silver Unlimited for $25 per line per month, plus taxes and fees. For data management practices and additional terms, visit straighttalk.com.
And now for a look at your weather forecast from the WSIC Weather Center. Partly sunny skies through the rest of your afternoon today. We'll only be up at a high temperature near 57 degrees. Rain is likely through the evening and into Tuesday morning. 60% chance of rain through the overnight hours, otherwise mostly cloudy with a low around 44. This has been your weather forecast from the WSIC Weather Center.
Some days I cover up because of my moderate to severe plaque psoriasis. Now I'm hitting the road with clearer skin thanks to Skyrizi, Ckezepis, a prescription-only 150 milligram injection for adults who are candidates for systemic or phototherapy. With Skyrizi, 3 out of 4 people achieved 90% clearer skin at 4 months. And Skyrizi is just 4 doses a year after 2 starter doses.
Don't use if allergic to Skyrizi. Serious allergic reactions and an increased risk of infections or a lower ability to fight them may occur. Before treatment, your doctor should check for infection and tuberculosis. Tell your doctor if you have an infection or symptoms such as fever, sweats, chills, muscle aches, or cough, or if you plan to or recently received a vaccine.
Thanks to Skyrizi, there's nothing on my skin, and that means everything. Ask your doctor today about Skyrizi, the #1 dermatologist-prescribed biologic in psoriasis, and visit skyrizi.com or call 1-866-SKY-RIZZI to learn more.
For 42 years, Johnson's Parts and Supply has been your Auto Value Auto Parts store. When you need auto parts, think Johnson's Parts and Supply, your Auto Value Auto Parts store, 1112 Shelton Avenue, Statesville.
Check out these great propane-powered deals from G&B Energy in Statesville, and you can get cozy with the new fireplace and save up to $350 in rebates on Cozy Heat fireplaces or receive a free on-off remote when purchasing gas log sets over $700. Best of all, Rinnai-Tickless water heaters start at $430 after rebates. Visit G&B Energy today off Highway 70 at 120 Entercraft Drive in Statesville or go to gbeenergy.com.
Today's Real Talk continues now. Here's your host, licensed real estate attorney Justin Ckezepis on the new 105.9 100.7 WSIC.
Today's Real Talk, the show that focuses on all things North Carolina real estate, business, and life. Sitting down with Mackenzie Amirfar of the Deering team of Serhant. I'm testing out. North Carolina. I'm testing out different things here. The Deering team within Serhant, within North Carolina. To which?
TDT of Serhant.
TDT of Serhant.
That's like our logo.
That's pretty good. Yeah, no, that plays good. We were talking about the holiday season, basically the Black Friday sales taking place, what appears to be mostly in new construction.
Mm-hmm.
Are you seeing any of that in the resale side as well?
Yeah, not as drastic things, because sellers don't typically have that drastic measures to take, and it's more personal. You know, obviously they want the most money, but they're also like, I'll stay in my house a little longer if I can't get close to what I want. But sellers are definitely realizing like that this is the new normal and that they can't get the price that they think they want or they think they should get, because a lot of sellers are very unrealistic after the multiple offer
bonanza.
Yes, years, months, whatever. And so, yeah, honestly, I'm going into like a lot of my listings, you know, I give them numbers for what different scenarios, you know, hey, if you want to do this work on your house, you can get this number. If you want to do nothing, you can get this number, you know, a range. And
you learned that one from Josh Deering, didn't you? Did he teach you how to do that, or was that your own trick?
I don't know.
Okay. I don't want to give him any credit, but
I didn't teach it myself. Somebody taught me. I just can't tell you who. And then also, like, hey, if we offer 2-1 buy down out the gate, that's this much money. It's going to cost you this much money, but it could bring this many more buyers. And if we offer it out the gate, then maybe we don't sit as many days on the market, things like that.
Is there any trend right now? Like, because what fascinates me is I asked the question, like, why would somebody sell right now in this marketplace? And I know that doesn't help for inventory, right? Me asking that question, posing it to the public isn't a good thing for necessarily those who want more inventory on the market. But do you find that most people who are selling right now, like, have to sell?
Yes. Yeah. There's no one selling for fun right now. It's no one selling because, like, oh, I want to make money. No. People, especially people that locked in a low interest rate at like 2.5, 3.5, any low interest rate, they're moving either because they're selling because they have to move out of town. They have to get a bigger house. Maybe they have a growing family. Maybe they are downsizing. It's people that have to move, I would say, for the most part. Not people that are like, let's see what happens.
Do you think that it's anywhere close to sellers selling in the market? Because there was a lot of the move up, right? Like you would sell, you need a bigger spot. The downsizing thing, I could see that, right? People aging in their home, they're wanting something smaller. They don't want the maintenance. They don't want the tax bill. They don't want all that stuff.
Right.
But I just don't know, where do they go when they sell? Even if you sell at the top of the market of, let's say, like a 5-bedroom that's 3,500 square feet, what are you going to find, a 2-3-bedroom ranch somewhere in the same geographic territory for the same price? I mean, come on.
Well, it's the equity that they hold in those too. So when did they buy that 5-bedroom, 3,500 square foot house? They probably bought it 20 years ago when it was like a quarter of the price they're going to sell it for. So they're doing okay, and they can go and sell it, or they can go and buy something that's going to be like a nice house in the same area, but just smaller, less maintenance. But it's the people that truly want less maintenance. You'd be surprised how many people think they want to downsize, and then when you start to show them, they're like, "Where's my stuff go?" And I'm like, "Well, you have to get rid of it." And they don't.
I'm Mackenzie. You're selling that too, by the way.
Yeah. Let's put that on Facebook Marketplace right now. But a lot of people don't want to get rid of their things, and that's a realization that I've seen with a lot of people, downsizers, that they have to come to and realize, oh, I can't keep everything.
Or you can go get a storage unit. Do you recommend storage units? Do you like storage units in like the moving process and downsizing? What do you think about that?
I mean, yeah, if you want, but like, why? That's my thing. I'm like, you can get a storage unit. I've had people, I'm like, well, get a shed, and because if they can't find a house with a garage or something and they don't need a garage, I'm like, get a shed and put your stuff in there to rot. When you
like, let's say a lead comes across, like what geographic territory gets you excited? Like when you see a lead, like what's your favorite right now?
The lake, for sure, always. Like Cornelius, Huntersville. I live in Charlotte, so Cornelius and Huntersville are a lot more fun to go to than like Cheryl's Ford. But anything on the lake, I'm always excited for, and anything that's like close around the city. I love to be in the city, and so anything in those areas. And those areas are where you can find some good deals, and also like in the neighborhoods that not everyone wants to live in, but are like up and coming. I get super excited for those because I can't wait to call my clients in a few years and see what their street looks like now. Yeah.
And that's the thing we're seeing. And I think to, let's say, the west side of the lake, right? The future growth, the Denver, the Cheryl's Ford of what will be in the future.
Yeah.
Anytime I see like a public shopping center come in, I'm like, this corridor is going to be booming.
Oh, yeah.
It's going to be huge.
Yeah.
You think about Highway 73 kind of toward Ckezepis right there, right? Huntersville or Davidson Concord Road. Then you think about out in Denver right there at the corner of 73 and 16. You get the north side and you get 16 and 150 right there. They're coming in like a vengeance right now.
Oh, yeah.
Are you getting people coming here asking about the west side of the lake, or what's that like right now?
Yes, I think this year has been the first year that people have actually asked to be in Denver. Before, people that were going to the lake, they're like, we don't want to be in Denver. Like, we don't want to be on the west side. There's nothing in Denver. Now, for one, they can't necessarily afford the east side of the lake, but Denver's nice. Like, there's nice things over there. Yeah. It's getting restaurants. It has nice shopping centers. There's so many like great things that it has to offer. And I think that people are also realizing like it's not that far from Huntersville, from Brookdale Village. Like you said, you get on is that 173?
So 70, Highway 73,
Yeah, yeah,
Highway
yeah.
150, Highway
Yeah,
16. You got
73.
old 16, you got new 16.
Yeah, there's so many
Yeah.
so many ways to get everywhere so quick, and yeah, Denver's a good spot. You have a quick 16 to Charlotte and 73
The airport,
to
that proximity of the airport.
Yeah. I mean, 16 there's a lot of traffic, but like, I mean, same or less as 77, I'd say, depending on the hours you're doing it.
Are you working with a lot of people moving here from out of state? Are you seeing that still a common trend?
Yep.
So that traffic conversation is funny, right? Because
Yeah.
people who move here from like up north,
Mhm.
out west, you're going back to California here soon,
Yeah.
right? The traffic we have, quote unquote, where like, okay, I can't get to the grocery in 3 minutes and now it takes me 7 minutes.
Yeah.
Do you find that funny? Like you're from California.
Mhm.
Like, so what's that like for you when people complain about traffic?
Well, what's funny to me is that it's always the people that aren't from here. And I'm like, you realize we're creating the traffic. Like, this is our fault. And like, us coming here created the traffic. So it's just like, there's traffic everywhere. There's traffic if you're going to be in like a big city, or Charlotte's a big city, I'd say, a small big city. If you're going to be anywhere like that, there's going to be traffic. Get over it.
You got to move past it,
Yes.
accept it, and move
Just
on.
stop. Like, let's not talk about the weather or traffic anymore.
Well, people like talking about the weather. It was 72 and sunny on Saturday.
I know, and it's like
For
cold
November?
today. I wore a coat.
Oh gosh, what's it like in California right now?
Honestly, it's about the same. It's cold. I talked to my mom today. It's cold. Yeah.
Cold in California though is different than cold here.
It's different, but their weather, I would say, stays about the same as ours. They've gotten more rain there lately than we have.
Yeah, we need some rain pretty bad.
Yeah.
Is Charlotte like locked down on water? Like, are they locking everybody down? Say no more water.
I did watch something today that was it took like I had flashbacks to when I lived in California. It was a video on how to save water.
Yeah.
And I was like, oh my gosh, I never thought I would see that here. Like, did I do something?
Did you bring the rolling blackouts with you too? Did you bring that with you too? Look,
It was
Bill, the producer's staring you down. He lives in Charlotte too right now. He's saying, don't bring that in here.
I know. And oh my gosh, I just planted grass.
Oh, you did?
And now they're telling me I can't water my grass. I'm like, it has to grow.
Oh no.
I know, bad timing.
You gonna go out there like at night, like with a spray bottle and just just when your neighbors aren't looking?
I'm not gonna say it on here.
No, you don't want to. Now you focus mostly on residential. Have you done any commercial deals yet? Or you've looked at commercial? What do you think?
I have not done any commercial deals. Actually, when we were looking for, still are, looking for an office in Charlotte, the Deerings, and they showed me basically the lease and all the numbers, and I was like, what even is this? What does all this mean? It is so different.
Yes.
I never realized how different it was, but no, I've not done any commercial deals, and I'm not looking to.
Yeah. Have you had anything, and I'm not trying to put you on the spot on this one, so you can just say move on, Justin, if you want to. Clear cooperation, a big conversation right now. There's a lawsuit, right, with the NAR.
Oh, yeah.
All that stuff going on. Have you guys had any discussion as a team about it? And what's kind of going on there?
Yeah, so we actually had a firm-wide meeting about it with our council. Very interesting. Would be interested to hear your take on it too as an attorney. Yeah, that was wild. I whenever it happened, I didn't even quite understand it because I know about it, but I'm like, I don't know exactly what this means. I'm kind of seeing what the general public's seeing, and it's like realtors being sued across the United States or whatever. I'm like, oh, this sounds good.
Everyone's
me.
getting sued today.
Yeah, am I getting sued?
No.
Like, I don't own anything, but
Should have got that notice at some point.
Yeah, but we did have a firm-wide meeting just discussing it.
Yeah, and I think it'll change somewhat of the marketplace over time. I don't think it's an overnight kind of big change, but ultimately what it just really has to do with is buyer's compensation, buyer broker compensation.
Yes.
Will the sellers continue paying for it? I'm just of the belief that it just gets negotiated in some way, shape, or form, right? And you will have some brokers who won't know how to negotiate it. I don't worry about that from the Deering team at all whatsoever. But there will be brokers who get left holding the bag, buyer's agents in particular, that they're 10 days out from closing, and all of a sudden it's, oh wait, there's no commission on here. What do I do? And now I have to go and ask my buyer for 3%, like as if that's going to happen overnight in an already fiscally tight marketplace. So we're talking with Mackenzie Amirfar of the Deering team of Serhant of North Carolina here on today's Real Talk. We've got some market data. We're going to look at it. I've got the official reports from Ckezepis MLS. We're going to take a look at the actual local numbers. Stick around.
More of today's Real Talk with Justin Ckezepis is coming up on the new 105.9 100.7 WSIC.
Here is your WSIC community calendar. Happy Thanksgiving. From all of us at WSIC, we hope everyone is able to spend some time with those that they love. Join the Cornelius Parks and Rec Department this Saturday for the 12th annual Light Up Cornelius, presented by Novant Health from 4 to 7 p.m. in downtown Cornelius. Festivities will include holiday songs, train rides, a sledding hill, food and craft vendors, and a visit from Santa. See you Saturday! Want to see more than 5 million Christmas lights at one time? Speedway Christmas is back. Happening daily, the amazing Speedway Christmas at Charlotte Motor Speedway is happening now through January 7th. The show is open 6 to 10 p.m., rain or shine. The Infield Christmas Village is open Thursday through Sunday nights. Speedway Christmas at Charlotte Motor Speedway, now through January 7th. For tickets, visit charlottemotorspeedway.com. Community singers of Lake Norman are performing again Christmas style. December 3rd in Mooresville, December 5th in Huntersville, and December 11th in Cornelius, each evening at a different church. 3 shows, 3 nights. Community Singers of Lake Norman. For more info, visit lakenormansings.com. The Community Singers of Lake Norman. lakenormansings.com. The Docksiders, performing at Kane Center for the Arts on Saturday, December 9th, are almost sold out. The Docksiders will take you back to the year 1981. Their unique and electric tribute act of yacht rock features songs from Hall & Oates, Christopher Cross, Kenny Loggins, and more. The Docksiders, Saturday, December 9th at Kane Center for the Arts. To purchase your tickets, visit kanearts.org. Have an event you'd like to tell people about? Yard sales, estate sales, and everything in between? Visit WSICnews.com and click on events to submit your event today.
And now for a look at your weather forecast from the WSIC Weather Center. Partly sunny skies through the rest of your afternoon today. Will only be up at a high temperature near 57 degrees. Rain is likely through the evening and into Tuesday morning. 60% chance of rain through the overnight hours. Otherwise, mostly cloudy with a low around 44. This has been your weather forecast from the WSIC Weather Center.
Stop dreaming about the perfect lawn and make it a reality. Drum Landscape Supply now offers personalized lawn plans. Visit drumlandscapesupply.com and collaborate with our experts. Drum Landscape Supply, your local one-stop landscape shop. Your home for non-stop Christmas music.
You serious, Clark?
Starting at 12 a.m. Thanksgiving Day.
Now more of today's Real Talk with Justin Ckezepis on the new 105.9 100.7 WSIC.
Today's Real Talk, the show that focuses on all things North Carolina real estate, business, and life. Justin Ckezepis sitting alongside Mackenzie Amirfar of the Deering team of Serhant within North Carolina. See, I tried a different combo there. That works well. Let's look at some market data, okay? I like to play a little game called Guess That Price.
Oh, God.
It's my favorite game in the whole world. I'll sit around with my children around the campfire. We'll light it up, and I'll say to young Noah, I'll say, Noah, let me tell you a story about real estate. And where I like to start with that story is Catawba County. Because in Catawba County right now, guess for me, take a guess. The average price for active listings, residential listings, not including land, in Catawba County. If you had to guess right now, completely putting you, Mackenzie, on the spot.
Oh, God, I really hope I don't get this wrong.
Tell me what you would guess is the
say,
average active list price of residential properties in Catawba County.
I'm going to say $330,000.
You're living in a fairy tale.
Oh my God, is that much higher?
$460,000.
That's like
Cheryl's Ford, your favorite place.
Yeah, I know.
Yeah.
I was not thinking about the big houses. I was thinking about the small ones.
And that's not even including land. Land is actually, so I'm looking at some of these markets as if the average land cost is less than your residential, you're still in good spots.
Yeah.
Because of the cost of land to develop, right? You know that place is blown up.
Right.
But I saw, this is a side note, this isn't on here. The average land price in Catawba is $336, so it is still under the residential price.
Yeah.
I saw an email, I got a blast because I'm still a broker. I still am part of Cannabis, so I get all the email goobly gop in my inbox. Cheryl's Ford, I think it was half acre to 3/4 of an acre on the water, $900,000. Just the dirt.
Jeez.
just the
I mean,
dirt.
on the water, that doesn't surprise me. That's the thing. Thinking Catawba, I honestly wasn't even thinking on the water. I always think like Iredell or Mecklenburg.
Sure. Well,
yeah.
Iredale's got the point though. Now, don't let because
No. Iredell's, I would say, was higher for sure.
Okay. Well, let's go a little south to Lincoln County. So 460,000 being the average active residential price in Catawba.
Mm-hmm.
Let's now go to Lincoln County, just a little bit more south. Average active residential price for listing in Lincoln County.
I mean, it has to be lower.
Does it?
No.
Are you sure?
Oh my God.
If Catawba is 470,
420,000.
you think it's less than Catawba for Lincoln County? Remember what cities you've got there, and Denver's not incorporated, so that I don't even know if that's a city.
I'm like Denver, Stanley.
Come on.
Okay, no, it's higher.
You can do this, Mackenzie.
It's like 490.
Closer. That's 510. So
510.
you're close.
Okay.
You're in the ballpark.
Yeah.
Okay, see that's and so the spread is also tighter on land. Land is 440,000. So it's getting tighter and tighter in Lincoln County, meaning that the genie's out of the bottle there too.
That's absurd.
All right, let's keep going, Mackenzie.
God.
We're 0 for 2. We still got 50% left to do here.
Are we counting like townhomes also? Are these
residential?
only
Yes.
single family?
No, it's residential.
Okay,
it's all residential.
Just curious.
It's all residential. So now let's go to Iredell County.
Okay.
We're going to save the behemoth of Mecklenburg for last.
Yeah.
This is Iredell County. Average active list price for residential property.
Iredell County. 550.
You got the first number right. Do you want to take a second guess at the second number? You got the 5 right. The first 5, not the second 5. The first 5. Your spread's a little bit off compared to your Lincoln County guess.
The next number's an 8.
Ooh, you're close. 5.9. 590. 590 is
yeah.
the average active
And
price.
that's the active listings.
Correct.
Yeah.
That's not what it's sold for.
Okay.
This is where we're getting into our seller's realistic. That's the game.
Yeah.
Maybe that's the better name of it. Forget guess the price. Our seller's realistic. That's
Right,
the name
because
of the
I'm
game.
like,
There's
that's not happening. Yeah.
No, it's not happening.
Yeah.
No. Hence why they're still active.
Yeah.
Okay, let's go now to the behemoth of Mecklenburg County.
Okay.
Mecklenburg County, average active price, list price for residential property, Mecklenburg County, go.
670.
Wow, you are a professional broker. 680,000. Let me hit this real quick.
Yeah.
Do it now? Nah, Stream Deck's
What
not
was
on.
it?
No, it's okay.
Was it glitter going to come down?
Yeah, similarly to the tree lighting ceremony at Burkdale.
There it is.
There it is. Mackenzie got it there, close as can be. Now, the land price, this is what's crazy. So Mecklenburg County, average active residential list price is $680. Average active land price in Mecklenburg County, $896,000. That means there's so much demand that land prices have surpassed the average price for residential.
Crazy. Because they're taking with that land? They're taking it and they're subdividing it into teeny little lots.
That's right.
Or they're rezoning it and they're building a bunch of townhomes.
That's right.
So they're getting all their money out of it.
And you've got people who want to rezone to commercial and do these massive commercial. I've never seen so much warehousing go up in one time frame.
I know. Remember when commercial real estate was dead in COVID and no one was going to go back to the office? You know how many office buildings I see built every day?
Yeah, there's a lot of office being built right now, which is a different conversation for another day. So do these numbers surprise you at this point in the market?
Yes and no. I mean, they're so high. Like that's the thinking that that's the average price. Like average is like mediocre. That thinking that you can get a mediocre house in Mecklenburg County for 670,000.
680,000.
600. That was my guess. 680,000. You get a mediocre home.
Just decent.
Just decent. Like that. That's thinking about it that way surprises me, and then thinking about the other way, I'm like, no, it's
not possible.
Yeah, it is though.
Does it go higher?
The average?
Sure.
I mean, yeah. I hope not right now.
Not tomorrow?
Yeah. It will.
Let me refresh in 5 minutes because this updates every 5 minutes.
And also, what's the sold? What's the average sold? What's the average days on market for those active listings?
Don't hit me with your finite data
I'm not
points
going to.
that you as a broker professionally know.
I don't want. No, obviously I didn't know all of them. I don't want you to ask me any more questions.
How big of a conversation are schools for people in the marketplace right now?
depends. I mean, it is a big part of the conversation, but with those average prices, people can't always afford the school district they want to be in. Now, and also when people ask me, is this a good school district? I don't know. Look, you have to look up for yourself. I can't give advice on school districts. I can't say this is a good or bad school district. I say, here's greatschools.org, and you look it up and make your own decision. Honestly, from my point of view, from my research on greatschools.org and looking that up, the grades they give schools are very similar across the board. There's only a few that have like outstanding scores, and so yeah, and typically not most people can't afford in those places. So it's a discussion, but it also is like you take what you can get.
We talked earlier about kind of the counselor hat that you have to wear. That one of the tools as a broker, one of the skills you have to have. So husband and wife are in the middle of a living room during a showing. They're arguing. This is the one wife wants. They've looked at 40.
Yeah.
They've been pre-qualified 12 times. They lost out on 2 bids already. This is the one she wants. Typically, are you seeing any patterns where the compromise goes for people looking to buy? Like, what are buyers willing to actually compromise on now? Is it size of the home? Is it features? What is it that you're hearing buyers compromise on?
Gosh. Not area. That's one thing people will not compromise on.
Location. Okay.
That's something a lot of people won't. I guess depending on who they are, though. Like, are they first-time home buyers? Do they have a family? That kind of thing. Where do they work? Because some first-time home buyers they'll sacrifice to go a little further out because they're like, this is my first investment. This isn't forever. Now, if you're buying like your forever home, not so much. Or some people are like, oh, I'm not going to live in this area. Like, no way. Even if the house is amazing, I'm not living on this street. So that's one thing they will not compromise. I think people are compromising, features, I would say. Like, okay, there's carpet here. We don't want carpet, but we can change it. Like, we can put in LVP flooring. No one does hardwood anymore, really. Like LVP, we can put that in ourselves. Those kind of things. Size.
What about floor plan? Are people compromising on floor plan, or is like open concept still like the trendy thing right now?
Yeah, I would say yes and no depending on the house. If a house has a good floor plan, like if the floor plan's okay but it's not open concept, people will do it. Like my house is not an open floor plan, but it's a very cool style and it has a good like feng shui, if you will. So like I was like all about the floor plan and the open floor plan and open concept, and then I saw this house and I was like, oh, I love this. So it's okay. So I think it depends if it functions.
Do you still love it, or are you looking to move now?
I do still love it. I mean, I would love to be like in a different area, but
what location, if you could be, where would you want to be?
Buying or renting?
Well, I didn't think you'd ever rent again in your life.
I mean, I don't want to, but if we're talking areas, I might have to.
Sure.
If I could buy anywhere that I wanted in Charlotte right now, and money was not enough.
Sure, why not? This is my hypothetical. Of course,
right?
You can buy whatever you want.
Yeah, I would buy in Sedgefield.
Sedgefield. Why Sedgefield?
I love Sedgefield. It's like Dilworth, but you can get a bigger house in Sedgefield. Like the homes are bigger in Sedgefield, and you can still walk to South End, but you also have Park Road Shopping Center that you can walk to. Those are like my 2 favorite places to be.
That's where you like to be.
Yes, and I'd be like in the middle, and I have a big house.
Okay.
Yeah.
If money was no object.
Yes.
So with money being, are you looking potentially at rent? You're considering renting to be able to be in a different area at some point?
Not necessarily. I don't think I ever would. I say I would, because I just love South End, and I would do anything to move back to South End. But
Die hard.
Then I know. But then I think about it and I look at how much I'd be spending in rent, and I'm like, that's stupid.
Mackenzie Amirfar of the Deering team of Serhant in Lake Norman. You've been listening to Today's Real Talk, WSICnews.com. Just click real estate. You can get the most local data any time of the day. Hope everyone has a wonderful and happy Thanksgiving.